just here to show you guys how to play Smells Like Teen Spirit today. So thank you so much for all your guys' requests. Please check out our YouTube page, youtube.com/guitar control. And today I will show you how to play Smells Like Teen Spirit. So as always, we'll do like about 30-minute lesson and a 15-minute Q&A. I'm going to make sure you guys can see me, and we'll get started. So I'm going to check in on you, Facebook. And yeah, this is going to be awesome. This will be a lot of fun. There's a lot of really cool parts in this song. It's pretty easy, but there's some cool lessons within that. So we'll go over part of the solo and the main riffs. Let's see. And remember, as always, send in your topics too that you want us to go over. So I think you guys can see me. All right, cool. All right, so that very first part, sorry guys, just checking. That very first part is just power chords. So if you know your power chords, this will be very simple. And if you don't, I'll quickly explain how to play them. So right here, our very first one, just so you can see the whole neck, I take my pointer, and it's going to be the same shape. We're just going to move it to different spots. So I take my pointer finger and I place it on the 6th string, 1st fret. Then I take my ring finger and I put it on the 5th string, 3rd fret, and pinky right under. So this is an F5 power chord. And that's it, just down, down. Then I scratch in between, down, up, down, up. Very first shape again, I take my pointer, put it on the 6th string, 1st fret. I take my ring finger and I hold down the 5th of the chord. So that's why it's going to be the same when we move to a different root. Our root is my pointer finger. And then pinky right under, getting that octave. So there's two ways to play power chords. You can either leave the octave out or put it in. I prefer to keep it in because it makes just kind of a fatter chord. So let's see what you guys like. So you can tell me what you experience. But either way, I think that it's a little bit, so they each have their pluses and minuses. So when we have 3 fingers down, we can strum more strings. When we don't, we can strum less strings. So it's, you know, lesser evil, which one you want. So if you're playing the 2-finger version, you can only pick the 6th and 5th string. You can always mute, which is when you lightly touch on the guitar so that nothing rings out. You know, either way, if you want to have a crazier strum hand and you don't want to be as focused. So you either want to mute and make sure nothing's ringing out, or go for it and be really accurate with those 2 strings. So I'm going down, down on that F5. Then I'm going to actually just lower my shape. So I lower each finger 1 string. So I went from the 6th, 5th, and 4th strings to the 5th, 4th, and 3rd strings. So down, down. So. And that last down up I do, you can do it open on the guitar if you want. The cool thing about guitar is it sounds really cool open. So I'm just going to check on you guys one more time and make sure you're good. But yeah, the guitar sounds cool open, so that's always a benefit. Awesome. I think we're good. Cool. Awesome. Hi Wade. Hi Joseph. Hi Rafa. Cool. All right. So let's go over that again. I'm going from this F to, you know, kind of call it an A sharp or a B flat. I'll B flat for now. So down, down, and then, you know, that down up, you can either kind of include it, but you have to quickly get to that next chord, or the guitar open. So down. I do it open. So the guitar sounds good open, but in between those scratches, I am actually muting. So in this case, I'm muting by just touching all of the strings just lightly and scratching. So down, up, down, up. Strum hand is normal, but my fretting hand is just touching the guitar. You know, the harder you touch the guitar, the more pressure you put on, the tighter the mute. So it doesn't have to be too crazy, but you don't want anything ringing out. Down, 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 up, down, 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 up, down, 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 up, down, 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 up. And that mute is down, up, let's go over all of that. So that's our very first part, our main part, our chorus. It's really cool, really strong riff, really memorable. So down, down, scratch, down, 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 up, down, down. So that's to a G sharp or an A flat. So I'm holding down the 6th string. So I went from 6th string root to 5th string root, back to 6th string root to 5th string root. So F, B flat, A flat on the 6th string, 4th fret. So 6th string, 4th fret. My 5th is on the 5th string, so my ring finger, 5th string, 6th fret, and pinky right under, getting that octave. And down, down, scratch, down, up, down, up. Then, to either, you'd call it a C sharp or a D flat. So down, down, same thing, just lowering everything one string. So now pointer on the 5th string, 4th fret, ring finger on the 4th string, 6th fret, and pinky right under. So let's put that all together. And I think the hardest part would be making sure that when you're doing that mute, you're not jumping like crazy. So I'm just going from here and then flat. So you see how quickly I'm doing that? You can use both hands or one hand. So I'm muting with either my picking hand by just placing my palm down, just like this, or my fretting hand by just flattening. And sometimes practicing the little details is really cool too. If something has a really fast transition or you find it a little difficult, isolating whatever problem areas is always a really good way to go about mastering that. So let's see. Lefty, it's like a mirror to you. Hi, Palermo. I think I said it right. Radiohead would be cool. Yes, so send in your suggestions. These are all actually suggestions from you guys. If it's a little loud this time, I know in the past it's been quieter, I can move it down. So let's see how that sounds. Awesome. All right, I'm going to tune this up really quick. Someone's saying, it sounds scratchy. This is a grunge track, so it should. But hi, how are you guys doing? So thank you for tuning in. As always, I'm here every Tuesday and Thursday. So thank you guys, I appreciate it. And thank you for the requests. The weather is crazy here, so my guitar has been crazy. All right, so thank you so much. Let's go ahead and do that again. So it's down, 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 down. And I think the coolest thing about this song to me is the attitude that you put in it. It's a really simple riff, but it has a ton of attitude, and it's a really strong riff, if that makes sense. So make some solo. I will show the solo. I think the solo is really important, actually. I think it's one of the coolest part about this, because the solo is actually the vocal melody, and that doesn't always happen, but it is a really cool way to put a solo in if you don't have an idea or if it fits the song. So I think that's why I really think this is kind of a standout song in that way too. The next part is really, really simple. Sherbert Kitty said, can you start over? I was late. This will actually be on our YouTube channel. So you can just rewind it, but all I did was that first riff, moving this power chord from the 1st fret 6th string to the 1st fret 5th string, then to the 6th string 4th fret, 5th string 4th fret. So just down, down, scratch, down, 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 up, down, 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 down. So that's all we've done so far. But go ahead and check that out. If you can rewind it, that'd be awesome, because I want to make sure I get time for the solo. But thank you for coming in, and thanks to Mr. BHB Jr. And Sherbert Kitty. So cool. All right. So the next part, if you listen to the record, it's really easy. So we'll go over it pretty quickly, but just so that you have it, and so we have enough time to get to that solo. So, like I was just telling someone, this will be on our YouTube channel, so make sure you check that out. Thank you. Our YouTube channel is youtube.com/guitar control. So just go there, click that bell too when you get there to subscribe to our notifications, and we have new videos up every day, like at least 1 or 2 for myself and some of the other teachers on guitar control. So make sure you check those out. So it's free lesson videos ranging from anything from techniques to songs. So check it out. All right, so next he just goes, I turn down, so one way too when you have a lot of distortion on is when you change to a clean part. If you don't have your pedal board accessible or ready to go, you can actually just turn your volume down and you lose a lot of the distortion. So that's a way to kind of do that naturally if you want to. So it's just another option. And all I'm doing is barring with my pointer finger on the 1st fret, the 2nd string to the 1st string. So I go down, up, and then he lets it ring out. So it goes 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 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 2 and 3 and 4 and then when he says hello, it's like that part where he says hello, 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 hello. So that first part I just came in on beat 2. So 2 and 3 and 4 and then another measure starts, but I don't play anything, so it's still ringing out. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and then you'll hear it just go. Just a straight 8th notes, and the vocals also change. So yeah, that part, super simple. The next riff, so I can get us into the solo, is when he goes, and then he actually bends. That's kind of like the breakdown part. We go, so power chords again. I go F, then I just lift my pointer up to hit that open E, just the low E, instead of going, it's another way to go about that. So sometimes if you have just a quick open E instead of playing the entire chord, you can just lift that finger up and get that low E to ring out. So I'm not playing the entire chord, just that single string. So lift up, just pick the 6th string, then back down. So F, E, F, F sharp twice. And then you just kind of rest. And how I get a really quiet sound and a tight mute is I actually, with both hands, mute. So with my fretting and my picking hand, I go, and then everything mutes. I think this is the best way, other than your volume knob, to just be completely quiet. So, quiet. And then we slide this B flat, A flat. So I go, and if you want to play that little bend, he goes, sorry, and then a whole step on the 3rd string, 3rd fret. Sometimes I like to give it a pinch, but that might just be me. Or leave it out. So those are the 3 main parts. That leads us to our solo. So let's see how you guys are all doing. Thank you. Like I said, cool guitar. This is a really awesome ESP. I'm really lucky to have it. It is a glitter top. I'm sure you can tell. All right, let's see. Awesome. That's awesome. Thanks, Palmero. Cool. So yes, please subscribe to our YouTube channel, youtube.com/guitar control. And remember, free videos every day. So let me turn that off really quick. But yes, check that out. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and show you guys that solo. I'm going to make sure you can see my hands and everything. So like I said, the solo follows the vocal melody. So it goes. That's just the first part. So I use my ring finger to slide. So I slide from the 7th fret to the 9th fret on the 4th string. And if you haven't done a slide before, it's when you press down, you have pressure, and you push to the next note. If you lift up that finger, you lose the sustain and you lose the note. So make sure you just push over. Load up on. Oh, you know what? It might not be the chorus. course. It's the part that goes. There we go. I don't remember it. But it follows that vocal melody, so check it out. And then again, so we slide, just like I said before, from 7 to 9 on the 4th string, and then I pick on the 3rd string, 7, 9, so. Then I'm going to use my pointer and come out of this position. So I slide, ring finger, pointer, ring. Use my pointer to grab that note on the 5th fret, 4th string. So let's try that again. Then I go pick, bend. So on the 7th fret, 3rd string, I pick it once, then I bend and bring back down. 5 on the 3rd string, 4 on the 3rd string. It's 1, 2, and 2, right? So, let me check in on you guys. Make sure that you can see it. Aw, thanks, Emma. That's awesome. Does she play guitar? You said she does? That's so cool. I wish I started when I was 9. That is very cool, Emma. I'm going to just put in the YouTube channel for you guys on Facebook too. So for those who are asking what it is. All right. Awesome. And on YouTube, I'm going to assume you already know. All right, so let's take a look at that again. And thank you guys. I appreciate you guys logging on. And so remember, Tuesdays and Thursdays, I'll be doing these live streams with your guys' topics. So Tuesday at 7 Central and Thursday at 7 Central. All right, and let me know if you can see the guitar okay, if you need a better view. Let's see. All right. And I tend to throw in a lot of pinch harmonics because I think they're cool. You don't have to, but they are fun, so you might want to. All right. So, just so you get that again, slide. So 7 to 9, 5, 7, 9, 5. So 4th string, slide 7 to 9, 3rd string, 7, 9, 4th string, 5. Then drop down to the 3rd string, 7, bend. So whole step. So pick once, then bend, bring it back down so you can hear it. It sounds like your guitar is singing. That's why I think this one is cool, because you're really going to make your guitar actually sing. So try to emulate a vocal. Then I go to the 5th fret, 3rd string, then down a half step to the 4th fret, same string, the 3rd string. So all together. And then it's 1, 2, and 2, 2, 3, 10. There we go. So we finish that. So one more time. 5, 4. Then I use my ring finger to go ahead and grab the 4th string, 7th fret. So 5, 4 on the 3rd string, 4th string, 7, 5. Then 7 again on the 4th string. Then whole step again. So bend, 5, 4. So all of that again, all of it, twice in a row. So and then just like earlier when you went hello, 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 hello. And on that part, you can either do it here with your pinky if you think that that's easier, or you can go ahead and go down a whole step. Same note, just picking which string you want to use it on. So that's hello, 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 hello. So 5, 4. 4 string. So 5, 4, 5, 4, 5, 4, 5. And that one's kind of, the last one's a pull off. Another pick. Slide down the 2nd fret from the 4th fret, or use your pinky and grab that same note on the 5th string, 7th fret. I'm going to use the sliding down because I just think, I don't know, to me, I get to sustain that note and make it kind of sing more. Using your pinky is totally fine too. It's up to you. So, all together. See how I can easily slide right back into position? So I'm all about making things as easy as possible when I'm playing guitar. I'm always trying to think what position gets me back to this other position and what notes make the most sense. You know, the same notes are all over the guitar in different spots. So I always try to think really logically. This one I'm playing really linear. Like I'm going all over like the neck this way, not this way, right? So in that case, for me, I just notice when I'm here, I can use my ring finger and slide right back into position. So a lot of times students will ask me, why are you using that finger, or why are you doing this? And it's always whatever makes the most sense. I've said this before, but it's like being an athlete. You know, a swimmer will do anything to just be faster and get ahead. They'll wear a swim cap if they have long hair. You know, I like to try to make as small movements as possible because then I'm faster, or I have more time, or I can think. So it just buys you time, and I think it relieves pressure too. You never want it to be hard to play the guitar. Let's see. Sorry, I'm gonna answer some of your guys' questions. Oh, thank you, Manuel. I really appreciate that. I've been playing for at least 12 years. I don't remember how many, but I've been playing for a while. Can you greet me? I'm not sure I want to say sentences in languages I don't know, because you could be tricking me. But how are you? Let's see. Oh, that's awesome. Thanks, Emma. I appreciate that. And remember, on Facebook, if I don't see you guys, please say your comments again, because sometimes Facebook scrolls a lot faster when I'm toggling between these two. So yeah, let's go over that one more time, and then it's almost time for Q&A. And yeah, if you just logged in, for those of you saying you missed some stuff, remember this will be on our YouTube channel and it's on our Facebook page. So if you are on YouTube, go ahead and like our Facebook page, just Guitar Control, facebook.com/Guitar Control. And if you are on Facebook, please go to our YouTube channel and subscribe to our channel. We're doing videos every day, at least 1 or 2. So for myself and a couple other instructors. So make sure you check them out. All right, let's go over that solo one more time, and then it's about time for Q&A, where I'll answer whatever questions. No, I'm not playing through an orange. That's my fiance's. Those are both his. I'm playing through this Mesa Road King cab. So this is our music room, and this is my rig, and he's got a bunch of different rigs, but that's one of them. So I'm playing through a Mesa Road King cab. I have an Axe FX 2, which I've talked about a lot. I really like that, and it's a preamp, so I'm using a power amp. So a GT 1000 effects. All right. I will be on again Tuesday. So I'm doing all this month. It's all like topics from you guys. So thank you so much. So make sure you send them in because we're listening, and it will either show up on a live stream or it will be something maybe in a video on our YouTube channel. So remember, youtube.com/Guitar Control, and be sure to click that bell because you get a notification right away, and it helps us keep doing this for you guys. So thank you. All right, let's go over that one more time and see where we're at. So remember, if you have any questions, please ask them. If you have questions that are not related to the song, I will answer those in about 6 minutes. All right. So again, and if this helps, I can kind of get my face out of there. Or there we go. So. Last note, I would really just milk it, like ring it out. So when you're playing lead guitar, remember, you want to think, why I was saying I like this so much is because you want to think like a vocalist. And this is the perfect song for that since it's a vocal melody. So make sure that you are thinking like a vocalist, and that means in your phrasing and in your tone and your touch. So when I'm doing a vibrato or something, a vocalist, what separates a good vocalist is kind of similar to what separates a good guitar player. You can be as fast as you want, but if you don't end on that last note just right, or with some attitude or style, it just doesn't resonate the same as if you do. I think that really separates one guitar player from another. When you hear someone go, and then you're like, I mean, it was cool, but what happened? And if you just go, that wasn't the best vibrato, but it was better. So. It's just better. And also being able to kill the volume. So just rolling off that volume knob for me is a major pointer. So let's go over that again. So just make it sing, right? Oops, wrong. So that's what I'm doing. I want to make sure you guys can see the entire guitar. So just let it kind of fade into the rest of the band. So that's hello, 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 hello at the end. So since we have a little bit of time, if you need to, I can do it again, or if not, can I play some blues? Sure. What do you use in video recording? It depends on what I'm doing. So for this, I'm just using my laptop. For when I do the actual videos that I turn into guitar control that you guys see on the channel, I'm using a nice camera with a lens. So I'm using a Nikon. But this is just a simple setup. So lights help a lot. I have 2 lights, and that's it. A good amp and a good guitar. And, for live streams, it's just the computer. But for everything else, it is a lens camera. Makes a big difference. All right. So let's make sure we have this. Thank you. All right. I might have missed a comment. Hello. Awesome. Yep, Facebook. If I miss it, please send it again. Let's kind of recap those parts and send in your questions. I'll do the Q&A, and then I will see you on Thursday. I had to remember what day of the week it was really quick. But yes, Tuesdays and Thursdays at 7 Central, I do these live streams to both YouTube and Facebook. If you miss them, go ahead and check it out. Play some metal. I do like metal. Oh, I forget. There we go. I do like a lot of metal. Yeah, of course. You guys are keeping me on my toes here, throwing out all these different genres. All right, so one more time, send in your questions. I appreciate you guys logging in and checking out this live stream. Remember, it will be on YouTube and Facebook. It stays here, so you can check it out. And please subscribe to our YouTube channel. So, youtube.com/guitar control. Let's go ahead and go over all those parts one more time. So I showed you that intro riff, our main riff, our chorus, where we go. So even though it's a grungy song, you still want to be clean and be playing it right, and purposely be a little sloppy if you want that grungy sound. So I'm going F, down, down, and then I scratch. Remember we mute? And instead of actually bringing my hand over here and muting there, I'm actually just muting right in place because I'm going to drop down immediately to get that chord right under the B flat. So I go, oops, sorry. Remember I go down, down, and then I kind of go, I actually don't really mute on that part, I just kind of do a down up while I'm changing really fast. So down. And then right to G sharp or A flat, down, down, 6th string, 4th fret, is my root, then I'm on the 5th string, 6th fret, and then right under on the 4th string, 6th fret, in the octave. And I just keep going from that G sharp A flat to C sharp D flat. Just going over and over. Then our really simple part, just we talked about rolling back our volume knob if we need to get that clean sound. Down, down. Remember, it comes in on 2 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and hold it out. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and. So I'll count and play it. I'm trying to sing the bass melody. That's why it goes 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. And then when they do the vocal melody that we do later, hello, 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 we go, and it builds, and then with the lights out, here we are now, entertain us, stupid, incontagious, here we are now, entertain us. That's the first time I sung and played that, but I think I did it right, so there you go. So right into the chorus, and then our little bridge breakdown, and then he goes, hey, and you can go, and kind of emulate it on the guitar. So it goes, F, just lift that pointer to open to that low E, back to F, F sharp twice, or G flat, you would say, twice, and then you can either play nothing, and let him go, hey, or you can match it by bending the 3rd fret, 3rd string a whole step, up and down. Same beginning, but instead of our bend, we go 6, 4, B flat, A flat, 6th fret, 4th fret, 4th. Sorry, I forgot. And that, to get that B flat, 6th fret, 6th string, 8th fret, 5th string, 8th fret, 4th string. Remember, it's optional to use that pinky, but I do think it's better because it's fatter and you get to strum more strings and it just sounds fuller. And then our solo. Oh, I might be out of tune now. So, slide. Sorry. And then again. And that's it. So that brings us to our time. So I'm going to start answering some questions, and then I will see you again next week. All right. What effects am I using? I'm actually not using any external effects. I'm using Axe Effects 2. The setting I'm using is setting 55, Dizzy VH4, channel 3. That's what I'm using. I use this for kind of more classic rock stuff. I play a lot of metal in my own time, but for this one, I kind of use that because it just has a really good classic rock sound. I've altered it just a tiny bit, but it's pretty much that setting. So if you have Axe Effects, you can turn to that and we will sound like twins. All right, let's see. That's a killer riff. Thanks. Thank you, Tom. Yeah, of course. Marero. Here you go. Oh, can I sing it while playing? I think I did it without you asking. Yeah, I can, kind of. All right, so go ahead and send your questions in. I'll hang out here for a little bit longer, and then I will see you guys next week. Or, sorry, Thursday. I will see you Thursday. Of the thing. Give us 60 seconds of the thing. I don't know the thing off the top of my head, unless the thing is like, just do whatever I want. Let's see. I'll tune up really quick if I'm going to play again. Axe Effects has a tuner built in. It's another cool thing about it. But what I was saying is I really like Axe Effects because it has like 300 different amps in it, and so I get all the tones that I need. So it's really, really helpful, especially when recording. Let's see. You guys, I'm sure I can play these songs, but I don't know them all off the top of my head. Thank you, Patrick. Oh. Thank you, Nikki Notes. I appreciate that, of course. Feel free to send in your requests too. And also check out our website. So our website is guitarcontrol.com. There's also lessons on there, special DVDs that you guys can buy, and sometimes you might get a discount code from me for checking these out. But yeah, check them out. We have a lot of cool stuff. Jam tracks, a bunch of stuff. All right, let's see. Do I recommend, how about a cool, easy riff? I think I just showed you a pretty cool, easy riff. I'll think of one off the top of my head, though. But I don't know if we have enough time for that. That might be a whole nother lesson. Do I recommend learning to read music? Yeah, yes and no. It's kind of a weird one. It depends on what your goals are. It helped me, but it helped me in teaching. So that really, to me, if you're going to be a teacher, yeah, of course. If you're going to be a professional guitar player, maybe. It depends on what you are trying to do. I've been in bands where people don't even know the notes that they're doing, but they write awesome music. So it's a weird one. I think you should at least know how to read tab for sure, but tab's pretty easy. But it doesn't hurt. I would recommend it, but I would also recommend, it depends on what you're trying to do. I got the most out of jam tracks personally, and taking in all the material that I could learn and blending my influences, but also finding my own sound. So it really depends on what you're trying to do, but I think your ear is always your best friend. If you have a good ear, you're good. Let's see, what do you think about Eddie Van Halen? I like everything. I like all the Eddie Van Halen stuff, and his guitar. I think it's awesome. I try to make an Eddie Van Halen Easter egg this year with Van Halen print. What advice do I have to build speed during chord progressions? So I have a video actually on Guitar Control's YouTube that's all about building speed, but it's more for lead guitar playing. But that's a really cool video if you want to check it out on our YouTube channel. But for building speed during chord progressions with anything, it's really just practicing stuff. So, and I like to try to practice things smart. So like by saying that, not that any practice is dumb or anything, but when I say that, it's like saving you the most time. So say you practice something and you just slow down a little bit and you practice it patiently for like 5 minutes, your mind would be blown at how much easier it is when you do that. So learning how to play things slow and then speeding them up, I think, is the best thing that you can do with anything. So with chords, I would really logically map out the progression and see what the easiest transition is. If I'm going to be using open chords, if I'm using a capo, if I'm using bar chords or power chords, and which voicings are closest to one another and what's giving the sound that I want. Because you do have options. So I would say slowing things down. I would know my notes on the 6th and 5th strings. So not necessarily on a staff, but know what note is what, because then you can jump around really easily. And you can get your chord progressions down a lot faster that way. All right, I'm gonna check on your Facebook. Can I come up with a cool rhythm just now? Sure. But also one of the best things too is whenever you're trying to create anything is don't be worried about messing up. I think that's one of the best things that I ever learned. Start jamming, woman. I don't think that's kind of derogatory. I would jam if someone said, please. All right. I did know that Alan Holdsworth passed, and it is really sad. I don't know any of his stuff off the top of my head, but he is great, and I've known about him forever. He's one of the best, and it's super sad. What's your go-to amp when I play metal? I use my Axe FX for everything. I just change the setting, so that's my go-to. I used to have a Bogner, but now I really do swear by this. It was an amazing investment. I don't know about girlfriend and woman. What about teacher? Let's see. It sounds like you guys, a lot of you want blues lessons, so that's pretty cool. I think blues is a lot of fun. You know, there's like kind of the shredder blues, like that Jason Becker and all them do, Steve Vai, or you know, maybe I'm more so thinking the David Lee Roth solo stuff. But there's also a lot of really, really tasty licks from blues, and you'll hear a lot of blues influence in Jimmy Page and guitar players like that too. So rock and blues kind of, depending on your settings, your tones, and the way that you phrase them, they can kind of go hand in hand. All right, I am going to wrap this up. So thank you guys so much. I really appreciate you guys checking this stream out. Let's see. What guitarist influenced me the most? You guys ask me this a lot, and it's interesting because it does make me think a lot about what does influence me the most. But I would say it was different when I first started out. Now I'm really influenced by my fiance. I love playing with somebody that has way different taste than me. Not way different taste. We both play metal, but he is super good at effects and stuff and really creative. And I feel like I was like from the school of shred, and which is also cool. And I love shred guitar. But I think when we started playing together, that was a huge jump in my playing again. That was a big shift for me because sometimes we do these like little shred videos on Instagram, and you know, some of his ideas sometimes aren't necessarily way more complicated than mine, but I think they're so much cooler because they're so different than what I would write. So he influences me a lot. Paul Gilbert has influenced me a lot. I like Steve Vai a lot. I like Chona Bodom was another huge jump for me because that kind of is what got me into metal. Jimi Hendrix was a huge jump for me. Eric Clapton with Cream, Band of Gypsies, Led Zeppelin. So all of those, and actually Nirvana. I went from like Blink-182, Nirvana, Hendrix, Cream, all of them, Led Zeppelin, to Chona Bodom, and then all the shred people. So then like Paul Gilbert and all them, and I stayed like that for a long time. And then when me and my fiance started writing together, I try to open my mind up to more creative parts. But anything kind of instrumental, I really like. But now I try to also have the mindset that I like anything. So I think you can learn from all genres and appreciate all stuff. Let's see, my taste in music. Let's see, I think I just said it. It's all about the blues. The blues is pretty cool. But I mean, come on, haven't you heard some shred guitar? It's pretty cool too. All right, so thank you guys so much. I really appreciate it. I will see you again Thursday. So Thursday at 7, I have another topic from you. So make sure you leave your topics that you want to learn. You might see it in a live stream. You might see it in a video. And check out our YouTube channel. So guitarcontrol.com and also youtube.com/guitarcontrol, Facebook/guitarcontrol. Subscribe to our notifications on YouTube, and you will get notified when we have a new video up. Let's see. Oh, thank you, Michael. I appreciate that. That's awesome. Yeah, you guys, guitar is all about having fun. So make sure that you enjoy yourself when you're playing too. And take some time off if you need to, or listen to things. So sometimes you don't always have to be going psycho. You can take a break and just like listen to something and appreciate it. And sometimes when you're learning, just listening to something, you might actually hear so much more than you hear when you're just overplaying and trying to play on top of something. So thank you guys. I appreciate it. I'll see you Thursday at 7 Central.